start by thanking you for coming along to City Hall for our discussions on energy bills, a roundtable for London. I can't think of a better morning to have done it, given what's happening nationally, but our focus will be essentially in the London context. We've heard over the last 6 months, recent weeks I should say, the big 6 energy companies announcing inflation, busting price increases, and a fierce political debate. Only this morning we've heard the coalition government suggest they're going to be asking energy companies to halt their energy price hikes. We've had Murad from the Labour Party launching his green paper in Manchester. And I'm sure over the winter months this will grow as an issue. But we shouldn't forget actually the key issues for us is fuel poverty, and it's been a growing problem in the London context. We have about 300,000 households already in fuel poverty, that's about 10% of numbers. With these price hikes, there's undoubtedly the case that more families will be pushed to choose between heating or eating.
But specifically, I want to talk about the health and well-being aspects of living in a cold home. Murad, you're absolutely right to point to the excess winter death statistics earlier this week. They show that last year we've seen a massive jump, 30% increase in excess winter deaths nationally. Whilst that hasn't transposed to such a great extent in London, as you said, 2,700 excess winter deaths. World Health Organization say 30% of those are responsible, fuel poverty or living in a cold home is responsible for about 30% of those. That would be about 800 people dying because they can't heat their homes adequately.
So essentially what we're looking at is trying to be more interventionist. We already have good landlords who work with us closely. So not every single private landlord in London is a bad landlord. Au contraire, we have wonderful models of people who are in this for a job, they have 20 or 30 properties and they want to do the right thing. They're the type of people who already do their insulation. But we're talking about the road landlords who really, we're going back to Rackham days, who just let these properties out. And it's tied in not just with insulation but with cost. So they will tell a tenant that they will have to move after 6 months because they're going to put the rent up. And then when the next people move in, after they've been there 4 months, they say, please move out unless you want to pay the increase. And they're just ratcheting it right up.
As the Chief Executive for Repowering London, I've worked with many different community groups and local authorities across the capital. We are setting up cooperatively owned renewable energy projects which raise all the capital that's needed, but also give the ownership to the local people, reducing bills, creating jobs, internships, and directly allowing social responsible investment.
High energy bills and fuel poverty more generally are having a really bad negative impact on people's health. It exacerbates existing health conditions, respiratory illness, circulatory problems, and at worst it can cause premature death. We know that 2,700 people died in last winter. That's a 30% increase on the year before.
Well, it's quite clear to me that the roundtable that we've had this morning on this particular day when we've just heard the government asking for energy companies to keep their prices down and the launch of the Green Paper by Ed Miliband, that we had a focus on London and London with its particular problems with fuel poverty, excess winter deaths and the delivery of a lot of programmes which should have delivered warmer homes for London. And it's quite clear to me one of the main things that needs to be done is coordination of all the efforts across the various proposals. There was nothing actually new about the analysis. What it was clear to me was that all the various parties that we had in front of us at the round table were saying that it needs to be structured and pulled together better in a way that actually materialises. And the most important ingredient for that coordination is the political will. And all the various parties were suggesting it hasn't been coming from the mayor as such, and it needs to desperately. So we need the political will, the coordination,
and all the various groups in the sector will be prepared to respond, and there's loads of needy groups out there, not least all the families that unfortunately are having to choose between food or heating this winter over the next few months.